Hi guys, this is Hayley here from Hayley's One-on-One Tutorials, and today I'm going to show you in this tutorial how to set driven keys and to contain or make our own attributes. So first we want to select the hand controller. I can minimize this for now. What we're going to do is go Edit and go to Add Attribute, and we got this box that appears here. Now the long name will be what comes up here. So if we rename this one Fist, set our minimum value to 0, maximum to 10, and our default set 0. Just click Add. And we'll do this for a range of different attributes. So Fist, Relaxed, 0, 10, 0. Every time you click Add, it will keep the box open. If you click OK, it will shut down the box. So again, it's just going to Edit and Add Attribute. Okay. So along with Relax, we want Open Fingers, Closed Fingers, and our final one can be Grab. You can add in whatever other hand gestures you would like. These are good to start off with. If you find any are irrelevant, feel free to either include or not include them, and just click OK once you're done. And as you can see, they've all appeared here. Now if you highlight the word and use the middle mouse button, you can see the variables change. So if I just highlight them all, like so. I want to make sure these are all default to 0. Okay. Now the next part we're going to be doing is creating set driven keys. So making sure we're on the animation tab, we go to Animate, Set Driven Key, and click Set. Okay. So now we've got this option box. Now we've got driver and we've got driven. The controller is what we want to set as our driver. So make sure it's selected and click Load Driver, and it will appear here. And what we want to do is select the values that we want to change first in our attributes. So what we're basically going to be doing is keyframing the main poses within our attributes. So if we select Fist, this will load our driven. But if you notice, it doesn't do anything. Our driven is the actual joints itself. So making sure this is checked so we can select our joints. We click on a joint, and what we want to do is select the first 3 but ignore the end one. So press and hold Shift, 1, 2, 3, and then we do the same to the finger joints, 1, 2, 3, just select through those quick. It's very important you select the joints individually because we're not going to be selecting the 4th joint. Okay, once all that's selected, go Load Driven, like so. Highlight them all, and we're going to be only tweaking the rotation values. Okay. Now, because we've already got this loaded, they no longer need to be selected, so go back onto your controller, and we're going to start with the Fist and then eventually work our way down. I'll show you a couple for this example, and then you can work on the rest in your own time. So start with the Fist here, select that, make sure it's on 0, and what we need to do is capture our first keyframe of sorts. So if we just select key here, this will be the default pose. Now what we want to do is change this value into our maximum number, which we selected to 10, and now we're going to pose the attribute to what we want it to. So if you can just use your own fist as a reference, the way how it balls in. So we're just going to flex the fingers here. It's always a good point to follow reference, because your brain can sometimes trick you to think what you imagine is the correct way of doing it. Like so. And also bear in mind that as you're doing this, you could tightly curl it now because you can only see joints, but bear in mind you're going to be having the actual geometry of your hand. Okay? But don't worry, if it doesn't turn out well, you can always restart at this point, even though it's a bit tedious, and just go back and keyframe it. It's fine. Just turn that one in a little bit like that. It's also a good point to make to move in one axis at a time as well, to avoid confusing yourself. So I can move that one there. Because for example, if you start moving around here, you have a ton of axes rotating at once. And in theory, when you slip from 0 to 10, your finger's going to mimic that exact movement. So to keep it nice and clean, just do one axis at a time, like so. Just rotate that there. Rotate this last one in. Just get the general shape for now, and then just go back in and tweak. Okay, so at the moment you can see that this joint, if we go to shaded mode, is actually penetrating, so we don't want that, so we can just move that out a little bit. We can coil these ones in a bit tighter, same here. Again, check your hand for reference, just to see what your joints do. This one is a little bit loose, so I can always just tighten that one up a little bit. Like so. And make sure on the main joint, because they tend to be a little bit tucked in, just rotate that there. Now remember, we're only changing the rotate axis here of the joints. So even if you translate, so move it across or use scale, they won't be taken into consideration because we're only keying the rotational values. Okay? Like so. Once all that's ready, hit key. I forgot to do the fun joint, so I'll just go in and do that real quick. Again, this is only for quick reference, but you should always check to see which direction your joints move in. Just have that for now. Hit key. And we use our fist. Moves in and out, like so. Okay? So this is a quick introduction of how to use the set-driven keys. Go through the rest of the list of all the attributes you want to include, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Okay? Thanks for watching.